Hey everybody, what's going on? Well, I got some news for you. 3 pieces. I'm going to get it to you right now. So, 3 pieces of news. Number 1, the Yankees re-signed 2 players. Yes, the Yankees made some moves. It's low-key moves, but remember, their roster's at 35 out of 40 right now, so they have to add 5 players to it over time. They've re-signed outfielder Billy McKinney and relief pitcher Anthony Misavich to minor league deals, so they're not going to be added to the 40-man. They get invites to spring training, and they have to work their way back to or fight their way back to try to get a spot on the team again. So there's nothing guaranteed there. Again, not added to the 40-man. So these are minor deals, replenishing some depth, and they just traded away a bunch of pitchers in 2 trades, and they've got to restock that too. So, and I do think there's more is gonna happen. So something to keep our eyes on. So, and make sure if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that sub button, please. That way, any piece of news that comes in, whether it's Yankee news or non-Yankee news, you'll be at the front of the line when it comes in. Okay, so that's my promise to you, and I thank you for subscribing and supporting the channel and being notified. So now, that's news number 1. The question, news number 2. That's actually I had a question for you. What does Yoshinobu Yamamoto, if the Yankees bring him here, do to the payroll? Okay, let's break this down a little bit. With the expenditures that they brought in already, they're at about $285, $286 million right now. That's including Soto's $32 million, Grisham's $5, Verdugo's $9, and so on. So, not including the other moves that they're going to continue to make, which they have already made it clear they're in the pitching market. They need a starter and a reliever, at least. What does that mean? Because if you add Yamamoto, let's just say he gets $30 million, right? Aggressively. He's going to be close to it. That puts him up to 315. Way the hell over the Cohen threshold. Okay, 297 million. And remember, every dollar over the Cohen threshold is taxed 1-to-1. Meaning, if you're 20 million over the threshold, you're getting taxed into 20. It's a 20 million tax. So they're going to be paying a fruitful amount of money in taxes if they go significantly over the threshold. So, which makes it more reasonable for them to probably consider trading Gleyber Torres for pitching. Okay, whatever pitching they're going to bring in, and this is in addition to Yamamoto. Okay, if he comes here, if he doesn't, I see them pivoting to Shota Imanaga or somebody else. Probably Imanaga because he's going to represent the most affordable option out of who's left. Blake Snell's going to cost as much or more than Yamamoto. Montgomery's not going to be far off either. Imanaga will be not even half the price. So that puts him in a different financial spot. But now, going back to Torres, they're fielding calls on him. They're listening to calls and offers, but they haven't officially put him on the trading block yet. I want to point this out. Okay, so, but with that said, there are 3 teams that represent probably the most logical fits for him: the White Sox, the Marlins, and the Mariners. They all need bats. And the Marlins yesterday put out like kind of a plan. They need bats. They need infield. They need outfield. They need catching. The Yankees have all the needs that they could possibly need to check on their list. And they can do this in one big trade. And again, I'm not a fan of trading out more arms. Okay, I think the Yankees need to, if they're going to make any more trades, it should be bats for affordable, controllable pieces in return. So if you go, let's just use the White Sox. Okay, Garrett Crochet's the target. I've made this clear. I don't think Dylan Cease is going to come in. He's going to cost even more. And again, if they get a Yamamoto, there's no need to get another expensive starting pitcher, in my opinion. Could they get a controllable one? Yes. Would that make sense? Yes, but not an expensive one. Okay, and Dylan Cease doesn't cost through the roof, but that needs to be considered as well. So my focus from the White Sox is Garrett Crochet. Okay, if they can get Gleyber Torres for him, that'd be a nice 1-to-1. But Garrett Crochet's got 3 controllable years, so it might cost Torres in a prospect. Let's just say the Torres cost Torres in a bat. Okay, pivoting to the Mariners. Everson Hancock, I think he'll cost more than Torres in a prospect. One of their relievers, and more than likely one of their starters. But they also need a bat, the Mariners. Okay, and because I had predicted Shohei Ohtani, and we're going to get to Ohtani in a minute. Okay, I predicted Shohei Ohtani to the Mariners, but I don't think that's going to happen now. Maybe Cody Bellinger, maybe somebody else, but they still need another bat too. So him for probably a starting pitcher with controllable years, or him and a prospect for a starting pitcher with controllable years. I know Anthony Munoz, I'd love to get him. He represents that power arm, but he's going to cost quite a bit. Okay, but he's got controllable years on the cheap. We already talked about Emmanuel Clase, but he's going to cost the most. So talking about more controllable like pre-arb and arb guys. The Marlins to me represent the most logical fit for Torres. Okay, because you can probably acquire a starter and a reliever, and the Marlins have identified their needs too. Okay, and the Yankees have the most bats they give. Let's just say a trade for Gleyber Torres and maybe an Everson Pereira and maybe a Ben Rortvedt or something like that for Braxton Garrett and maybe AJ Puck or Andrew Nardi. Starter and a reliever, both lefty, both with cheap controllable years, 5 or 6 of them. That represents a more logical trade for the Yankees, and the Yankees would be offloading the $15 million of Gleyber Torres and Ben Rortvedt and let's just say Everson Pereira, offloading probably about $17 million. It gets them under 300, okay, in exchange for what they would bring back, cheap controllable years. So now they'd be floating around 300 instead of 315. And now that they've got, it's an easier path to moving Torres. And again, I understand the logic for keeping Torres too. If they want to keep him and add him to what they already have here, that offense is going to look scary. It really is. But he's the only player also that has trade value, that can represent something that can bring back value but for them. And I would consider doing that seriously. Okay, and they could replace him with Oswald Peraza. You'd have to give him a little bit of grace period, right? And then you have some other guys working their way up, whether it be Tyler Hardman or Trey Sweeney and whatnot. You might need to move Trey Sweeney in one of these trades, but one of these guys they could use. And again, they still have DJ LeMahieu here, and they still have some other players too. So, but this also offers them an opportunity to put one of the young kids in the infield. Okay, let's just say Peraza, have DJ at third. I'll put Peraza at third, DJ at second. Okay, the defense in the infield just got tremendously better, just like the defense in the outfield just got tremendously better this last week as well with all the trades they made. So that's probably the most logical fit. Marlins is the team I would probably zero in on because you could extract the most value for them, and we have what we could offer them to be probably the best, most logical package. And we'd get them the bats that they need. We'd get the arms that we need. Okay, and we'd be lowering payroll at the same time. Because I do think if Hal, he may say, hey, you may need to trade some other guys to Torres. We just don't know yet. We don't know yet. So he may need to trade a couple guys to try to get back under that. Because, like I said, if they bring in Yamamoto, they would have to do some maneuvering after that to address the bullpen and get under the Cohen threshold if they want to still do that. And it's possible, but they're going to have to be a little crafty. So, and I think the Marlins represent the best fit for them to be able to not only address the needs on the arm side, all right, one starter, one reliever, and lower payroll, and give them the bats that they need. So to me, they're the most logical fit, the Marlins. So if I had to put in order, it'd be the Marlins, the White Sox, and the Mariners in terms of trade partners. And I can't see Cashman making another trade of some sort like this because I can't see him bringing in another expensive pitcher if they get Yamamoto. I do think they're the favorites for Yamamoto. So, and I think the Mets are expressing a little bit of frustration that the Yankees have made room for both of them. So this is, again, the Yankees flexing the financial might that we were hoping they would flex. They're doing it. So, kudos to Hal, kudos to Cashman. And again, thank you to Judge. Thank you to Cole for being in Hal's ear. Thank you. Really, much love to you guys. Lastly, Shohei Ohtani. Why am I bringing him up? Well, John Morosi reported this morning that a Shohei Ohtani decision is imminent. We don't know what that means, but there are a couple things that have leaked today. And we already know that the Dodgers camp openly talked about, Dave Roberts specifically talked about their discussions with Ohtani and blah, blah, blah. And Dodgers got upset with him. The Ohtani camp, who was finicky about this stuff and wanted to keep a low profile and stay private, were not happy about it either. So maybe it's a ding on the Dodgers. Maybe, and like I said the other day, the Vegas odds were equal now between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays people have not leaked stuff. But what did we find out today? Another report that came out. Now, again, Can't confirm it or corroborate with other sources, but one report said that he already has an offer from Toronto, okay, for at least 12 years, and then the highest AAV ever, the highest contract total dollars ever. We know that was going to happen anyway, but he's got multiple opt-outs, 2 opt-outs in there for at least 12-year deal. Don't know when, don't know how much. If this is legitimate and true, we'll get that information, and I'll get it to you. But what's more even fascinating about it is somebody, or X fans or Twitter fans, what are you going to call it, have leaked a private information about a private jet being chartered from where Ohtani is right now to Toronto this afternoon. Now, they didn't show Ohtani's name on the flight logs or on the ticket, but it's kind of matching up with what's being said on the reports too. So again, can't confirm it. Nobody else is confirming it, but it lines up with what Morosi's saying is the decision is imminent. Maybe if it happens, it happens. And if he goes to the Blue Jays, good. I'd rather him go to the Blue Jays than the Dodgers. Why? Because at the Yankees, I want to beat the best. I don't want to run from them. And if he goes to Toronto, you add him with Vlad, you add him with Bo, and the rest of those guys, Dalton Varsho, it's going to be an exciting division this year. And I want to beat the best. To be the best, we got to beat them. And we got Soto. We got all the other guys. We got Verdugo. We got Grisham. And if we get Yamamoto, oh my God. What I would love to see is Yamamoto on the mound striking out Ohtani to end the game for the Yankees win on opening day or whatever. You know what I mean? That's what we got right now on Ohtani. Interesting little tidbits of information, but expected things to start heating up a little bit more as we get more information. I'll keep you fed in on the information either here or through shorts. Okay. The Yamamoto news is interesting. If you do the math and figure out what represents probably the most logical path for the Yankees moving forward. Okay. And Yankees made 2 moves. That's what I got for you today so far. It's brick cold, so I'm going to go back in and get warm. You stay warm, you stay dry. Have a great day. Peace and love, and I'll talk to you next time.